My name is Lorraine Sakini and this is the Being Bold podcast. I am with my colleagues.
My name is Rita Anindu.
And I'm Pamela Diambu.
And today we are here to talk about my boyfriend is on the pill. Contraceptive pill to be precise. So how would you feel, Pamela, when your boyfriend tells you he wants to go on a contraceptive pill?
My goodness. Bring him my way. Oh my god. I would feel relieved, feel loved that he wants to share the burden with me, because this thing has always been put like it's ladies who are supposed to be taking contraceptives. So for me, I'll feel loved that he will be able to take some burden off my shoulder. Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Rita?
I also would feel relieved, and just going back to our cultures, most of the time the burden of contraceptive is on women. Like for boys, for men, wakisha have sex, then the rest is up to you.
Yeah.
No jipange kama ni pitu tafute. You see, kama ni, if you have contraception, that's your business. However, thinking about us having those conversations, for me, even it's not even about the contraceptive, the new pill, but people are talking about.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just the conversation of contraception and us having conversations, real-time conversation of contraception. Sahi tunaongelelea kuhusu unintended pregnancies. You've had a lot of unintended pregnancies.
Yeah.
Tunakuwa na a lot of unsafe abortions, happening. And why are these happening? Because kuna unmet need for contraception.
Yeah.
I feel if we involve men, if men can be able to speak about these issues, then tunaweza sort stories are unintended pregnancies.
Yeah, I hear you. I understand where you're coming from. I understand the aspect of burden. I understand the aspect of unmet need for family planning in both the male and the female. But for me, I would be like, what is this pill? How does it work? What does it do? Because it's so uncertain, and there are already existing methods for male. Let me just be specific. Existing methods for male for family planning, like for example, abstinence, which is not feasible.
Abstain, my guys.
Which other method is there for contraceptives
for men?
Yeah,
Vasectomy.
What do I got?
If you have made a decision, you feel like, because sometimes I hear it is hard to reverse, but if you have made up your mind, you're like, I'm sure I don't want to have any more kids, or I'm sure I don't want to have kids, so you can go for vasectomy.
But vasectomy, there are so many elements around it, and then people fear it. Like, just the term vasectomy.
Yeah,
People see how reacted when you said it.
Yeah, actually, men feel like it will make them less of a man. I don't know. I feel like people perceive it as your manhood being chopped. Honestly, I feel like that is how people literally perceive it, but it is not that. It is just basically disconnecting this from getting this. Just bomoa bridge, like una bomoa to a bridge, so that it's just like shooting blanks. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. So other than abstinence and vasectomy, what other methods are there for men that help you stop or prevent pregnancy?
Just going back so that I can also respond to what Pam anasema. I think the reason why men are not so open to even the contraceptive pill is because of the masculinity issue. So you feel like nikianza kutumia, like following up on the conversations online, nitakuwa na hips, nikianza kutumia contraception, the new pill, ama nitakuwa sijui aje. And now you're speaking about ukienda for vasectomy, your masculinity should itakuwa affected. So probably even when these new contraceptive options are made zinakuja, like now the pill, there's need for more awareness on that pill high affect masculinity, and pia ku prevent your stigma, because now ikikuwa inasemwa negatively, it means kuna ka stigma ya contraception even for women. So for men, and that's why hata ukiangalia now, responding to your question, women tuko na a lot of options, which is a good thing, thanks to science, you know. Men hawana a lot of options. Abstinence, withdrawal, withdrawal na condoms, you know. So kuna hiyo need a lot of options for both men and female, so that you know options are good. Options empower people.
That is good. So, umeongelelea like people online, the online family. What are the myths umesikia, like the craziest myths umesikia, yenye ukisikia uko like, really, hata mimi si daktari, but really, nini umesikia ikakushangaza?
Mimi nimesikia ile yenye Rita amesema, they think like after they take the contraceptive, it will affect their hormones, and they'll start behaving like ladies, wame hips, wame boobs. But I don't think that's the case. And most of the times we have hormonal contraceptives and non-hormonal contraceptives. So if there are options, and plus it will be made specifically for you gentlemen. So you cannot be given a contraceptive that will compromise your hormones to look like ours. So it will be made specifically for your body,
for the needs of the men.
And to clarify, it is not hormonal. The pill is not hormonal. I am not a scientist, but I have read, and the pill basically haita affect like a woman or the little won't affect you. Na pia another myth probably to add on that ni watu kusema hiyo ukitumia ikifail, if you get a male child, then they will have you know, that is not true. And by the way, just to clarify, if you're using any contraception other than condom, then you're at a risk of STIs. So even in the pill ikikuja, let's not forget to use condom because it provide dual protection.
And then condom is the safest. When you're on contraception or not, condom is just a must. Especially if you're not like having a constant
dual protection against STIs and also against pregnancy. So now that we have spoken about how men lack a variety of contraceptions and women have a variety, what are some of these methods that women have? I might be sitting there listening and I'm like, I'm a woman and I don't know the variety, and we're already talking on contraception. So would you like to like speak on that?
Could we also start with abstinence?
But
since you said, and it is very true, it is not feasible. We have pills you take for like 30 days. It depends. You're given pills you take for a month and then you go and again get other pills. It's 28 days, right? Yeah. And then you have a break just before your periods and then you proceed.
On the pill. It depends on the pill, there's the microgynon, the chaguo. It all depends on the type of method you're on. They're called COCs. It depends on which pill you're on as a woman and which prescription the doctor has given you for the same. Return date, you have a card, it has your return date, it has your checkup date, so that is what will determine when you're coming back for a pill. Which other method?
So we also have the injectable contraception, and for the injectable contraception we have two types. We have the self-injectable contraception, which I am so excited, you know. It's called the Cyanopress or DMPSC, and the other one is the Depo-Provera DMP. Well, what's you know, that is the one that it is not self-injectable. You have to go to a trained professional for them to inject you. So, and both the Cyanopress and DMPA, they last for 3 months and they are very effective. That is one. The Cyanopress has lesser side effects than the DMPA. Both are Depo, but now the difference is the IM.
DMPA, certainly DMPA, like they have the same combination in terms of medicine. The difference is one is subcutaneous and the other one is not IM. Place it at home.
Thank you.
You know?
Nahapa. Where is it?
Okay. the difference between the IM and the SC is basically dosage. Unapata like the Sayana press, you can equal one dose, it's already packaged for one dose. So as long as you train how to administer, you can do it for yourself, you can carry it home. You can count the days and still inject yourself after the due time. Alafu iko na allowance up to 13 to 14 weeks. 13 weeks to be exact, 14 weeks ni plus 1 week. And then it also helps in that una ile stigma ya kurudi hospitali. You can do it for yourself. Kwa wale wanaifanya in secret.
Confidentiality.
Waona, it offers the aspect of confidentiality, but also kuna contraindications, like if you have diabetes lazima uangaliwe kwanza, varicose vein issues, shida ya liver, kuna vitu lazima uangaliwe. Don't just go take it juu umesikia ni self care. I also want to care. First, your first administration should be at the hospital so that they can run tests and determine if you're a viable candidate for the same, because there are alternative methods, but it is also a good method.
And I think that applies to like almost all contraceptives. Please go get checked. Just know what's happening with your body, what's
your
the best
pressure, your sugar,
what's the best option for you.
If you're not pregnant, some people go
you may know for a method and you're already
kidogo you haven't tested for pregnancy and you're getting administered. No, first make sure you've checked for pregnancy. You have gone to the hospital, they've checked your BP, they've checked different conditions depending on the method. You have received counseling on the same counseling. It's very important so that you can also get the method.
And just speaking about the side effects, and now that we're speaking about the pill, you know, there are women, when you, for example, tunasema kuhusu people who have diabetes, people who have blood clots. You know, there are women who are not able to use contraception, and that is why options are very important. If scientists are doing a lot of research and just trying to get the contraception gani mzuri for which one works for you, which one is better for you, because each contraception, we are not the same. We are not the same. True. Our needs are different. Our healthcare needs are also different.
Yeah, that is very true. The IUD, the coil.
We were still mentioning
the female condom. For those who haven't seen the female condom, on our next shoot, we will have some samples to show you, because I am aware that there are some people who are not. There are some people who are not going to like have access, who have not had access to the same, and are just there thinking condom ni ile sure ile agava. There are kuna variety. Just find which method fits you best, what serves you best.
Cha muhimu condom. Just safe.
Okay, that has been really nice. Other than that, I would like for you to just have a personal take on contraception. Like, I don't want you to give me advantages of contraception, disadvantages. No, I just want you to tell me from, let me just say, your heart or
your perspective. My own
about
what?
About contraception
in general.
In general,
I feel like contraception is a good thing for everyone, for the individual, for the country, because unintended pregnancies, honestly, they just mess up even the economy, because hawa ni watu hatujapangia, economy nayo inakuwa mbaya, tunakuwa overpopulated, you know. And it's that's why I'm saying it's a whole issue. It cuts across every sector, and I feel like once I take care of me and I make sure that I have the right number of children, I get pregnant when I want to, I protect myself. It starts with me, and it benefits the entire country in general, cutting across every sector. Kwa sababu itakuwa in terms of health, itakuwa in terms of economy ya Kenya, chakula. Kidogo labda chakula tuko nayo inatosha tu. Maybe 1,000 people, say 1,000 people. And then now 1,000 girls get unintended pregnancies, and then we add another, someone comes with triplets, Now that comes, we become a whole other population that we cannot even manage to handle. Even I myself may not be able to take care of them. So I think contraception is a very, very important part of the society, and men, come on board. Come on board.
What about your retired general take on contraception?
So my major concern, Pam has mentioned a few things, and just to sum up what she said, is the quality of life.
Yeah.
What is the quality of life do you want to give the children we bring?
Yeah.
You know, we speak about contraception. Do you want to have children who will not be able to get food? When you want to suffer because we can't provide for them, do we want children who we are not able to give an education? So if it's possible, Mimi, I am for science, I am for innovation, I am for technology. We need a lot of technology to advance access to contraception, access to safe options, where we will, with time, everyone will live the kind of a dignified life, you know. You look at sometimes news, like, why do we have to have this kind of, we talk about fertility rates, you know. So for me, it's just the quality of life. Let's have people who are living life equal quality. That's why we cannot separate sexual reproductive health and populations, because we want a population that is productive, economies that are, we are unleashing, the potential of our economies.
Yeah, that is very powerful. For me, I just say that you cannot separate sexual reproductive health from the public, from the economy, from education. Sexual reproductive health is just as important as any other thing. It is a basic need. Your women, your men, young people, adults, we are all affected by this, whether we are in our reproductive age, whether we have passed the reproductive age, whichever society comes out to be as a result of our population. Our population is directly related to sexual and reproductive health. If there is no contraception, if people refuse to be safe, if there is an influctuation of STIs, HIVs, people are dying from strained resources as a result of unintended pregnancies, unsafe abortions. What are we going to do? What society is this? How are we going to live our life? What is the generation that is coming after us going to benefit? Which legacy are we leaving for our upcoming generations? We are living this quality life, or the life that we find quality, as a result of other people who came before us. People who fought for this right to enjoy. People who took time and insisted that reproductive health is a must. Reproductive health is important. We are, as a result of their backs, we are standing on other people's backs. So how come we are not willing to bend the same for our upcoming generation? We should really think about it. We should prioritize sexual reproductive health. Bills should be passed. They should prioritize. And it is not a female thing. It is not. Reproductive health has no gender.
It is high time, like, both genders take responsibility for contraception.
Exactly.
And now that you talked about the upcoming generation, what do you think about CSE, comprehensive sexuality education, for the young people? Because sometimes I'm always like, I wish I knew this. Like, I've learned so many things, like, in my adulthood. Yes. Things that I wish I knew while I was still young. At least
that you needed. Not
I needed.
You needed to know.
I would not have made some of the mistakes that I did.
I know.
So, what do you think about CSE?
Rita, you want to go first? So for me, even as you speak about and I'm really glad that sisi wenye tunaongea we are young people and we've gone through stuff. Tumehangaika. Contraception story for another day. As a young person, I wish I knew about consent. I wish I knew about contraception at a younger age. I wish I knew about sexual and gender-based violence. I wish I knew not just at the reproductive class 6, whatever. I wish I knew more. I wish I knew more about my menstrual cycle. So for me, CSE we must know. Even as we push for contraception, unintended pregnancies, because now unamaliza shule, you start dating. Most of us are dating, you know, or most of us are not dating, tunaruka. But either way we are in the reproductive age, you know, and it doesn't matter. Nobody wants to get children that are not planned for. So muhimu sahi, young people like my boys, it is very important that we engage men in this conversation. Let's be open to innovation. Studies are still being done, but it's very important that maze cultures zina encourage inequality at contraception is just for women. We don't want those cultures. So the most important thing, sisi generation mpya, tucheze safe tucheze safe. Tuongele hizi story. Tuongele sexual pleasure, you know. Tuongele stories of sex ni kama vitu za kawaida.
Because it is very kawaida. And just to add on what you have said, we don't want people having children that aren't planned for, but we don't want children having children at all.
Exactly.
Teenagers are at their reproductive age. Their hormones are heightened. Their curiosity, but still, nani hapo hapo. We need this comprehensive sexual education to our children. Si ile like unarushia mwalimu class akishasoma this is the male organ na chekage akifungua textbook, show your friend and you start laughing.
In the dictionary you start searching sex, search sex unasoma, hey!
You just there laughing because for you like it's funny, like wamenormalize kuifanya like this taboo, so like it's not even encouraged, not encouraging sex. Curiosity and encouraged through information, and because it's not encouraged through information, it's encouraged through fear. This is why they are hiding and doing weird things that zingekuwa avoided if we had this education. For me, I'm a champion of comprehensive sexual education, from the young people, the girls, the women, the boys, up to the adults. So today has been a very nice day.
I feel like we should just continue go on and on. But
if you want us to go on and on and you need more information, we have Menana Ability. We can refer you, we can give you information. You can just call and be like, I don't know what is happening, this and this is not happening, and we'll be like, this is why it's happening, or refer you to the nearest healthcare provider anonymously, like ni siri yako, hatutakuja tukitangaza. Grace hapo kwa line yule wanena alipiga kulizia nini STI yule
contraceptive mambo na miaka 15.
We don't stigmatize people, and we also give information. We also follow government protocols. It's not like we just act because we can. We can't. We also observe those rules. But above all, we prioritize reproductive health. We advocate for reproductive health rights for all. See you in our conference, June. What's coming?
Mombasani.
Thank you.
Na tuvae maxi dress na